Hi, everyone, and welcome to our weekly webinar today, October the 16th. Angela and myself, we're so happy to be here with you. And I just want to let you know, just to make sure to have pencil, pen, and notebook where you can write down everything that we're going to be learning today. And let's just all say hi to Angela. Welcome,
Hi, thank you.
Angela.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. And thank you, those of you who are joining us today in all of our different places. So today is October 16th already. We're like at that halfway point for our month. So this is a great moment to take a moment and reflect, to see how are you doing with your goals for the month of October, what you need support with, reach out with any questions to your team leader or to any of us, and we are happy to help you reach those goals that you have for this month. So today we are going to talk about tea tree oil. So we know that used tea tree oil is a special combination with Manuka and Rosalina, and it works for a million different things. We're going to talk about some of those special uses of tea tree oil. For our sales tips, we're going to be sharing kind of what is the power of being a used consultant, because it can be helpful to have that information ready to go if the conversation starts with someone who you think would be a great member of your team, who might love doing this kind of business, having that flexibility, but added income, great discounts, things like that. So we're going to talk a little bit about the power of being a used consultant, and we'll be inviting some of you to share your own perspectives on that as well. So we'll get to hear some more from some more people today. For our business tools, we're going to just quickly go over our PCC app features and benefits. So we have those preferred customers. They have a special app to place their orders and keep track of their data. And we're just going to kind of go over that so you remember all the cool things that can provide for us and for our customers. And for our tech tips, we're just going to give kind of a brief overview of the art of creating short videos. So for your Reels, TikToks, Instagram stories, Facebook stories, things like that, just short videos are the way to go right now. And so we're going to give some extra tips on how to continue to do that, modify how you're doing that, or get started with that if you haven't done it yet. And then we'll follow up with call to action and some other time-sensitive reminders. So our spotlight today is tea tree oil. And so with Used, we have our tea tree essential oil is special. There are over 100 kinds of tea tree, but here at Used, they have made our tea tree essential oil even more powerful and effective and multi-purpose by blending it with Manuka and Rosalina so that it provides all these different benefits for us and for our customers. So it is antiseptic and antiviral, great for fighting all the bugs that come at us and preventing infections. It's fungus fighting. This is great for people's feet to take care of our highly demanding feet, like my kids' feet. I'm like, what is this? Like, they're so high maintenance. So tea tree is definitely a regular part of our routine here. Anti-inflammatory. It's wound healing and promotes cell renewal. So this actually gives it a step up from a lot of other products that are out there for like cuts and things like that, is that this is going to help with its antiseptic properties, help keep things from getting infected, but it's also going to promote cell renewal so that it heals up faster on its own. I know my brother-in-law recently cut his finger on like a Ninja blender blade, and those are really, really sharp, right? And his finger was not doing so hot. So my sister-in-law took tea tree oil after they had like washed where he cut his finger and just dripped it on there. And she's like, I could not believe how fast it healed up. Like, it really helps promote that skin's natural properties to heal itself, but it's preventing infection from forming, and it's not going to damage the tissues around that area. So it makes it really special how it's really effective, multi-purpose, and is not going to damage tissues around it. So it's also analgesic and soothing. So it helps take care of the pain and things like that we're having when we have cuts and things like that. And it's effective yet gentle. And so today we're going to focus on, tea tree is used for a lot of different things, but we're going to just focus on how do we use it for respiratory care, since we're talking so much about the cold and flu set and ways to take care of those allergy symptoms and cold and flu symptoms. So when you have a customer experiencing nasal congestion or maybe sinusitis, like a sinus infection, or rhinitis, which is just like that drippy, like drippy runny nose, there are really easy ways to use tea tree to treat that. So you can add 10 drops of tea tree oil to a steam bath or like a dish of hot steamy water, right? So add about 10 drops of tea tree, and then you do the inhalations. Just remember that we close our eyes. Let's see, we close our eyes because we don't want any kind of essential oils in our eyes. Our eyes just tend to not want that. So make sure you always, when you're demonstrating this, to have your customers close their eyes first, close them tightly, and breathe in those steam inhalations. And we do usually recommend about 5 to 10 minutes, but with breaks as needed. So this is one to, if you have customers who are really sensitive to the powerful herbal aroma of tea tree, adding a couple drops of lavender to this really enhances that aroma and kind of softens it. So you can also rub a few drops of tea tree oil under the nose and on your forehead, avoiding the eye area, of course. So that means you just like literally take a little tiny amount. I put it right here on the entrance of my nose. And also you can kind of massage it on your forehead. Again, it is effective yet gentle, and tea tree is one of our pure essential oils that can be used in small amounts directly on our skin. For nasal ulceration, so sometimes when we're sick, our nose can just get like really irritated even on the inside. So you can apply tea tree oil with a cotton ball directly to that affected area if someone's having like issues inside their nose. Now, you can also use tea tree oil for chest congestion and cough. There's a few different ways to do that. So you can, again, add the 10 drops of tea tree oil to a steam bath or vaporizer, close your eyes, cover your head, inhale deeply for 5 to 10 minutes. This is something that we recommend people do like twice a day so that they're getting that effect, multiple times during the day, like every 12 hours or so. And for a cough, you can apply a few drops of tea tree oil. You would put it on your hand, rub and apply to your chest, nape of neck, kind of in those areas that are experiencing that inflammation and might be prone to infection later on as well. And then for sore throat and ears, I use this a lot for sore throat. So you can put 5 to 10 drops of tea tree oil in half a cup of warm water and gargle 3 to 4 times a day until the pain subsides. I also recommend to my customers alternating. So they do a tea tree oil gargle followed by a hot salt water gargle, and they kind of rotate between the two throughout the day, because when you have a sore throat, you want to get rid of it fast, and salt water can also be helpful for that. So those are two really natural ways to fight and prevent infection. And for ears, now people get earaches, and I know what was it, last week we talked about, I put tea tree oil with a little bit of thyme cream and massage behind my ears, and with my kids too, when we are stuffed up and worried about getting ear infections. We want to keep inflammation down and get those antiseptic properties, in the area as soon as we can. However, we do not put straight up pure tea tree oil just in our ears. Like, these are not ear drops. It's too concentrated. We don't want to mess with our ears' natural balance and our ears' natural way of fighting infection. But what we can do, and I would use this sparingly, but you take a cotton ball and apply a drop of tea tree and a drop of 31 herbal oil, and you put that cotton ball just at the entrance of the ear that is affected, that he has ear pain. And you can also rub a little bit of 31 herbal oil, just like take a drop and rub that behind the ear area as well. So we know that 31 herbal oil is great at like releasing tension and things like that. So it's a good fit for ear pain as well. Let us know in the chat, what else do you use tea tree oil for when you are sick? What else do you do? Do you put it in a diffuser? A lot of people, once one person gets sick in their home, they put tea tree oil and lemon essential oil in their diffuser to help purify the air. And it's also great for nasal congestion. What other tips have you used that for? We know that this is great for canker sores, cold sores, acne. You can use it for so many different things, but today our main focus is on the respiratory care benefits. Okay. And like I said, just remember, we're not applying pure tea tree oil inside the ear. Some people will do diluted tea tree oil with a clean dropper in their ear. But again, we want to use those things sparingly because we don't want to mess with our ear's natural balance and ability to fight infection on its own as well. So any questions about that, pop them in the chat, or any other tips, we'd love to hear them. Okay, now I also wanted to show you, because I don't know if you've seen this, but this month they put a cute little social media video in the app for tea tree and its benefits. So this is a cool thing to share. It's like 38 seconds long. You can share it in your stories. If you put it in Instagram, it'll divide it up for you, in your stories or in reels, etc. Or in your customer groups or customer chats, so that they can learn about the power of tea tree really quickly and easily with this video. Okay, so if you're like me and you're having lots of conversations about tea tree and other respiratory care products and things like that this month, add this to your repertoire to keep sending that message in different ways out to your customer base and your social media networks. Okay, so that is in your app. Just go into your consultant app, open up the resources folder, and just use the little search bar, search tea tree, and it will pop up in with some other materials that are available as well. Okay, perfect. So, oops. It always wants to play my videos twice, the way I try to click forward. There we go. Okay, so for our sales tips today, we want to talk about the power of being a used consultant. And we've talked about this a little bit in recent webinars of all the benefits to being a used consultant. So some of the things that really give us power and that keep us here doing this month after month, year after year, is saving on our favorite products, right? So we know how great these are and how many different uses we get out of them, how many applications we get out of the investment that we put into these products, and we love to save on them. That discount is amazing. We earn free products by meeting sales goals, drawings, things like that. We earn extra income from our sales. We get free training. So I know a lot of you are here every Monday. We get these free ideas. We get lots of extra training from the company so that we can keep growing and learning how to do new things. Like how many of you have learned like lots of social media things you wouldn't have learned otherwise, right? Or technology tips or product demonstration tips and things like that. We have our online virtual office with tons of resources for our business. We have a personal website that's easy to share with people, to share with the public, to share with contacts so that they can check it out and learn more about the products and place orders. We have access to lots of conferences, our national conference and other trainings that are available in person and virtually from UST. We have lots of opportunities for prizes and trips and all those other incentives for meeting our bigger goals as consultants. Lots of promotional materials are right there for us to save and share to our social media. We are able to socialize and connect with so many people. I love that. That's one of my favorite things. I find myself so much more open to talking to people out in public and to reaching out to people via social media. And it's fun, right? It's fun to connect with more people. And our personal growth, we keep learning something every week. We keep trying new things, building our confidence, and learning how to help other people, which feels really good for us as individuals as well. And we inspire others, we teach others, we are that go-to person for a lot of people for a lot of their wellness needs. So these are some of the ideas of what our powers, our superpowers can be when we are working as a used consultant. We also, speaking of like why most people join, right, is first it's either, okay, I just want a discount on my products, but then we start selling some more and we're like, oh, this extra income is really nice. And then we're like, oh, I can promote to these other levels and make even extra income for my efforts, right? So, so just remember that the extra income portion is really important as well. So when you are at a consultant level, you're going to start making 25% on your commissions. But once you reach $500 in personal sales for the month, that boosts to 30% commission on your retail sales, right? And you also are going to have earnings for personally sponsored consultants, which means people who signed up through you and are currently on your team. So you're going to have 4%. If you have one consultant on your team, right away, you're earning 4% on their on their personal sales, right? So that is a big deal because not all companies do this, okay? If you've ever looked at other direct sales opportunities, it's usually you don't start earning on your team until you've reached a certain level, et cetera. So this is really cool that you right away can start building your team and earning commission for those efforts of keeping your team updated and teaching them what to do. Then if you have another member of your team, you get 4% on as you build your team, you're getting 4% of your personally sponsored team's sales. Now, as your consultants that have joined your team start building their own teams, that is where it's really, really helpful to be promoted to leader status. So how do we promote to leader status? That means we have at least $500 in our personal sales. We have at least $2,500 in our bulk team sales, and we have at least 3 active consultants under us. Very doable, right? And once we reach that team leader mode, then we start earning 40% on our personal sales. That's huge. Right? So it's kind of like, okay, you're doing all these extra responsibilities of building your team, connecting with your team, teaching your team, and this is how you get rewarded for it. Yes. So then you're also going to start earning a bigger percentage for your own personally sponsored consultants because your team is growing and that involves work on your part, right? So you're going to start earning 10% from your personally sponsored consultants sales. And as they're building their teams, you're also going to earn 5% from not personally sponsored consultants, which means like here I am, my personally sponsored are the next level of the hierarchy that I get 10% for how they perform. And then below that, people that they have sponsored, right? Though I'm also earning 5% from that. So I'm teaching my team how to run their team, and that all benefits me as well, right? So there are lots of different ways. If you have questions about any of this, let me know. That's a lot of numbers and percentages. But both of these systems have a lot of incentives for us, but especially those of you who are growing your team, look carefully at those requirements for team leader. They are not that hard to achieve if you are able to dedicate that time and effort to your development every month. And it really does pay off by going that extra little step, that extra little mile in your planning and your prospecting and your sales activities. Yes. Okay. So we would like to hear from a couple of our consultants. You hear from me all the time, but we would like to hear from a couple of our consultants, just your own testimonials about your power as a used consultant. And we kind of just want to hear about how has your role as a used consultant affected you in your personal life, your professional life, your connection with others. So I'm going to be looking for a couple of volunteers for sharing answers to these 2 questions. It's very informal. We just want to hear from some more people. So one of my first questions is, what does the power of being a used consultant mean to you? I already gave you a big long list of things, but personally, what does that feel to you? Like, why are you a used consultant? Why do you keep showing up every month? Why do you keep coming here every Monday to learn more and keep growing? What does it mean to you? And if you can, share a situation, an example in which you use that power of yours to bring wellness to others. So it could be a customer testimonial, a situation that you took care of, someone that you were able to help, etc. One situation in which you really felt that power and you were like, wow, this is amazing. I want to do that again. So do we have any volunteers? Let us know in the chat. And then Cynthia, you're here to help kind of give people access, right? So
yes, and they can like share it with us, and they can open their mic and their camera if they want to.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Lisa, thank you. Lisa's going to share her example. Should I keep the questions up, or I can keep them up, right? Or do we want full screen? How big do you want to be on the screen, Lisa? No. We'll leave the questions up just for reference. Does that sound good?
That's perfect.
Okay, perfect. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for joining us. We're happy to hear from you and see your face. I always see you in the chat, but it's nice to see your face.
Thank you.
So,
well, I think that as far as what does the power of being a youth consultant mean to me, I feel that when I see the benefits that I can share with others and they thank me for the way it makes them feel, and they ask me for more solutions, it makes me feel really, really good. And I'm helping them see alternatives to just asking for a medication from their doctor or looking in the drugstore. They're seeing all the ways that our products can help them improve their everyday life. So we all, everybody has a situation every day, always. And so when we can bring some solutions to them, it's always great. And I have so many different testimonials, but I'll just give one, because this one brought so much relief to this friend of mine who told me he was a teacher, and he was in conversation telling me that they were doing a class trip to Washington, D.C., and he didn't know how he was going to get through this trip because he got gout, and he was in so much pain, and he didn't know how he was gonna, Washington, D.C., there's a lot of walking to do, and he didn't know how he was gonna do it. So I recommended to him about some products that might help give him a little bit of relief. So he purchased them. And after his trip, he said to me, "Oh my gosh, you can't imagine how those products helped me, because I was able to be pain-free. I walked through the mall of Washington, D.C. without any pain." And he used to tell that story to his friends and coworkers about how our products helped bring relief to the pain that he had in his feet. So that gave me a lot of satisfaction that I can help others.
That's awesome. And it feels so good for them and so good for us to have. It's like a power. It's like the power of the knowledge that you have, that you can do something, because there's a lot of times where there's like these intermittent situations, right? Like something like gout, like maybe there's even medication and things going on, but it's not giving them the effect of like right now they need to feel better, right? Or it's the same thing with cold and flu stuff, right? It's like they're like, we're miserable right now and we need something right now to help with this, and you're able to provide that really quickly. And you have all these years of experience with us, Lisa, that you can, I bet you can just like give them 5 recommendations off, just off the top of your head. So that's really cool. And it's like this sense of generosity for other people and just helpfulness that really helps them and helps us. Cool. Thank you so much for sharing, Lisa.
Sure.
I really appreciate that. And I think you make a good point of, it just feels good to have this source of information, alternative or complementary therapies that you can share with people to help meet their needs better than the typical system can on its own. Very cool. Thank you so much. Anything else that you wanted to add?
Well, I'm going to say this, it's kind of funny. We always tell people that our products are not intended to diagnose or treat illnesses, and they should always seek their doctors for issues. And he'd been going to the doctor, as well as other customers of mine have done. But what's funny is, in some of these cases, as in this case, he had been seeing the doctor, and what the doctor had given him wasn't helping. It wasn't bringing him relief. And our products helped bring that relief. And I said, I'm so happy. Are you going to share what's happened to you, the products that it's helped you? And he said, no, I'm not going to tell my doctor, because I'm afraid he's going to tell me it's quackery and to get off of it. And I'm not going to do that. So that's what a lot of my customers say, is I'm not going to mention it to the doctor.
It's part of their complementary system, right? That they're like, you know what, I feel better. Yeah. Well, and I feel like it's just the beauty of holistic medicine. You know what I mean? Like holistic well-being is that you're taking your health from a lot of different perspectives and not just one, right? And I think that makes a big difference for a lot of people. I know when I talk about use products with customers and with contacts, it's not just like, just do this quick, rub this quick cream and you're done, like, oh, you check your posture to make sure you're doing your stretches during the day, apply juniper cream, like we have a different perspective of like looking at okay, what is the big deal? What is the big picture? And I think people appreciate having different perspectives versus just being told like, oh, that's normal. Oh, this is all we can do, so that's very cool that we can provide extra alternatives. Cool. Thank you so much, Lisa, for sharing.
My pleasure.
And I see that Jennifer would like to share as well. Thank you so much, Lisa. If we can give her access.
Yes. Here we go. We have her.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
And it's great to finally see you in person and see everyone. But what does the power of being a youth consultant mean to me is the fact that I can help families. I can help my own family at the same time. And it gives me confidence to be able to share our products with the training that we have received from the company and give an alternative to my customers and the people out there that need that. Can I share a situation? My situation would be my own. I absolutely love the products, but every situation I think of, I'll ask the doctor and they don't always work. And the most recent thing is I burnt my arm, a very second-degree burns. I went to urgent care and they gave me, antibiotics and so forth and creams and they weren't working. They were not working. So what did I do? I used the tea tree cream and oil. And what a difference. I went back for my follow-up and they could not believe the difference. And I did tell my doctor what the product was. And when I explained to them that they're formulated in Switzerland, they just said, say no more. You keep doing what you're doing. And thank you for sharing that. And they wanted more. And they actually purchased product from me. So it is a good situation to be with youth all around. You can help wherever needed, even the professionals.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. And your arm is doing better now?
Yes, it is much
perfect.
better.
That's awesome. And what a relief to have. That's what I love too, is like being a consultant, you feel like you can have like basically the whole use collection if you keep working at it. Right. So then you have all of these tools at your disposal before you even, you know what I mean? Before you even get to your appointment, to your, like you have that quick first aid use of the tea tree oil, things like that. Which when you have a family and all these different needs pop up out of the blue, all of a sudden you feel like you have the knowledge and the resources to address it right away, which is so cool. Well, good. Oh, that's awesome. And I feel like bravo to you for being brave to just share that information, you know what I mean, like with anyone that you meet. And I think that's really cool. And there are a lot of doctors who, because I talk about that too when they ask me like, what am I taking for my cold symptoms? You know, if I go in and have an ear infection or something, right? And they'll ask me and I'll tell them, well, I use time cream, I use this and that. And they're like, oh, okay. Like they're fine with it. So they know that they can't solve all the little issues and that medication is not the recommendation for every little symptom. So they're usually on board with using high quality alternative remedies too. So very cool. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Jennifer?
I'm just love being with youth and I would love everyone to join us.
Yes, that's great. I agree. I totally agree, Jennifer. Thank you so much for your positivity and for sharing your testimonial with us today. Okay, so I think that's all we'll have time for today, but I really like this dynamic of being able to hear from you all and hear your own experiences. So we're going to try to work this in often when we can, to hear from you all and get some of your expertise and experiences as well. So perfect. Thank you so much, Lisa and Jennifer, for sharing with us today. And I'll be reaching out with more questions later on, probably for future webinars. Okay, so I'm going to move on to our business tools for today. So we're going to talk about just the app that we have available for PCC members. You can get the link for this app in our consultant link tree. that's on your virtual office, right? So you have like your links for consultants, you can get it there. And there's also lots of information about how the Preferred Customer Club works in your app. If you just search Preferred Customer Club or PCC, you can find lots of information to explain all the details. We've talked about it in previous webinars, but we want to focus on the app just because our PCC members are already getting lots of benefits, but by having them be active PCC members who know how to use their benefits and are using their app can really have a lot of benefits for you too. So benefits for you, for example, having the PCC customers who are signed up, they've paid their $29 for the year, or sometimes 19 if they get it on sale, and they're saving 10% all year round. They get those use dollars that they can use for the next month's purchase, etc. This really helps motivate customers to have consistent sales and think about their wellness needs every month and make purchases more often. And when they are using their app, it's really quick and really easy to place orders. It keeps them logged in. So if they're ordering once a month and they forget their password every month, this keeps them logged in. So they have to put in their ID and password one time and they're set. Their prices already appear with their 10% discount, which is also very fun to see already discounted. It's going to give them reminders about workshops and events that will like pop up in the reminders. And there's lots of features within this app. So they get their monthly total sale or monthly total orders or retail value for the month. They also, so like they want to place that minimum of $35, am I saying that right? $35 a month. This is going to help them see that. Their membership expiration date is on there so that they know when it's time to renew. They have the resources tab, just like we do, that has information, the catalog, brochures for different products. They have their use dollars balance. They can click on that little dollar sign to check their balance of use dollars, or it's also visible on this top dashboard where it says use dollars available. Then their total orders year to date. This is important because when our PCC members reach $500 in orders for the year, they get their membership gifted to them plus a special gift for the next year. So that a lot of people watch that to see if they are close to meeting their $500 total for the year. They can place an order really easily. One button, one little click to get into the website and order. That's really nice, kind of like how we in the consultant app have the little shopping cart, and one-click referrals. So here they can click where it says new PCC member. They get perks for recommending or for doing referrals to new PCC members, and they can end up both getting extra discounts or extra prizes when that person places an order and gets their membership rolling. So so this is all really handy. I think the most important thing is not having to log in all the time, keeping track of their use dollars, and being able to place an order with one click. So definitely, if you haven't shared this with your PCC members lately, send out the link for them that's on your consultant link tree so that they can download it and get logged in and everything working. Check in with them, make sure that they know how to use it, and just show them, just send them a quick like screenshot or tutorial of where to find their different features and tools. You can even take a screenshot right here if you would like to. So, but touch base with your PCC members, make sure they're using this app because it makes ordering easy, and that is to everyone's benefit, right? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. And so for our tech tips today, we're going to wrap up with just the art of creating short videos. In today's world, 15 to 30 seconds is a good time for us to explain our content, to explain an idea, because that's just how our brains are now programmed, is like quick and swipe and quick and swipe and quick and swipe. We have a very small window of time to get things through to people. So creating short videos can be an effective strategy for promoting products and tailoring them to your niche, your public that you're trying to reach. And you will be better positioned to create successful content and promote effectively. So, and it also is just good for us because we can reach our audience every day, but not spend a ton of time on it, right? So keep your videos short and concise. The optimal length is 15 to 30 seconds. So make sure that you get your message through concisely and clearly. You can make multiple separate videos for a topic, and that's okay, right? You don't have to get it all in one video. Define your key message. So before you start recording, make your note. It could be a literal note or a mental note. What is your central message? What is the idea that you want to get through to your customers? Make sure it's clear and relevant. plan out what you're going to say, because if it's a short period of time, we can't babble, right? So create a script or an outline with the content that you want to include in the video. I recommend a really basic outline so that you're still talking naturally. If you use images, organize the structure so that it flows logically and appealing to the eye, right? Create a strong opening hook. Remember, you get like that first 1 or 2 seconds for people to decide if they're going to stay and watch you or scroll on to the next. You want to jump right in. So don't waste time saying hi. Don't waste time saying like, oh, today we're going to talk about, like, just go into your hook right away, right? Do you have this? This is the solution, right? So again, grab your audience's attention right away. That's super important. And use impactful images and make them visually appealing, right? So select high quality images, high quality clips. A lot of people are looking at like things that are appealing to our senses with sounds and sights and things that feel like satisfying or look satisfying. So that's a great way to get your audience in. And remember, you can always explain more details in future videos or even in the description that goes along with your video content. Okay, limit the information. So in 30 seconds, it is essential to not overwhelm your audience. Speed is not what we're looking for here. We want it to be short and meaningful and concise. So don't overwhelm them with too much information. Keep your focus on what's the most important thing for that video. Optimize the duration of the shots. So divide your video into short cuts, like 2 to 5 seconds can be good. And then put the fragments together. Or you can do one single shot if that works for you as well, but avoid really long shots that can make your video feel boring, right? Like you need to cut and move just to re-animate to re-stimulate their attention again. Incorporate text and subheadings into your video. People need a little visual support to follow along with us and to make key points even more clear for them. And let's see, take advantage of music and sound in your video. So use background music that complements the atmosphere of your video. Make sure the pace and volume are low and appropriate for the message you want to convey. And also use trending audio whenever you can, as long as it's appropriate for your topic, and make a call to action. So at the end of your video or in the description that goes along with your video, try to include a clear and persuasive call to action that encourages your audience to do something like contact you, like check out your website, like purchase now. So you want to have a call to action that says, oh, you're like telling them, you've seen this, it's interesting to you, now do this thing. That's your next step, right? So creating short videos does not have to be super complicated, but it is something that we should all be practicing so that we can reach more people in a way that is appropriate for how our audience's brain works nowadays. Yes, this is something that I struggle with a lot, being a former teacher. So this is something that I'm always working on as well. But it takes practice. It's not going to be perfect right away, but keep practicing, just like Mari Carmen Armenta was telling us these past 2 weeks, like just do it and practice. It's like muscle memory, right? You're going to get better at it and you're going to feel more confident with it over time. Okay, so does everyone have a few things on your to-do list or your idea list for your business this week? What are some things that you're going to try? Write something down, like create 15 to 30-second videos about whatever thing using those tips we've talked about today. Have you done a workshop with respiratory care? Have you write that on your to-do list right now? It's in our call to action. Do your own demo using the respiratory care guide that is called The Pleasure of Free Breathing. There's lots of tips in there. Share it with your audience this month, please. And our goal is to sell at least 4 cold and flu season sets. Remember that the price is already discounted when we buy that set. It's $127, but this month your customers are also getting a free eucalyptus essential oil. So this is a really cool opportunity to share those superstar products with them. Okay, take a minute, get your idea list or your to-do list updated, and then thank you so much, those of you who joined us live today. We hope you've had some great inspiration for continuing to grow your business. Thank you, Lisa and Jennifer, for sharing your testimonials with us today. And then if you're here with me live, just stay tuned and we will go over a couple of really quick time-sensitive reminders.